Hi everyone, my name is Jared Sison, and this is Pickin' Politics. I'm going to do a blog soon on picking, promise. But there's just way too much happening in the world right now, and so today's blog is on politics. Over the weekend, Alejandro Villanueva, left tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, decided he couldn't not stand for the national anthem. A meeting had been convened from inside the locker room. His players and the coach decided that the answer to not being controversial to the national anthem and whether or not you stand or take a knee would be to not even show up. Coach Tomlin and all of his players decide we won't even show up on the field, we'll just stay in the tunnel and wait till it's all over. Well, Alejandro Villanueva had served in the Army. Actually, he was a Ranger, and he'd served 3 tours in Iraq. He just couldn't find it in himself not to honor the flag. So he walked out of the tunnel to where he could see the flag, and he put his hand over his heart. His coach, Coach Tomlin, was aggravated, and he let him know in no uncertain terms he was very disappointed. The team had agreed that the answer to not being controversial was to just not be out there and not honor the national anthem or stand before the flag. The initial blame is on Roger Goodell, because for years he has arbitrarily applied the rules in the NFL rulebook. If the offense seemed politically correct, then he would let it slide. If it had no value, conservative, he would apply the rule and you wouldn't be able to do what you wanted to do. A year ago, in a couple weeks, a player wanted to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the Twin Towers being destroyed by terrorists, and he wanted to either modify his cleats or do something on his jersey. And Roger Goodell said, no, you can't. There was a player about 7 or 8 months ago whose mother or aunt was suffering with cancer, and to honor her, he wanted to put some pink ribbons or something on, and Roger Goodell said no. But in this case, over a year ago, Colin Kaepernick decided not to honor the playing of the national anthem, and he took a knee. Now, the NFL rulebook is pretty clear. It says during the national anthem, this is on pages 62 and 63 of the official playing rules of the National Football League. During the national anthem, players on the field and bench area should stand at attention, face the flag, hold helmets in their left hand, and refrain from talking. The home team should ensure that the American flag is in good condition, et cetera, and then it goes on to share penalties for now. For some reason, when Colin Kaepernick of San Francisco 49ers team decided not to do it, Roger Goodell couldn't bring himself to apply the rulebook. This is a microcosm of what's happening with our country and our Constitution. In other words, if your last name is Clinton, then no matter what you do, you can't be indicted, have to face a grand jury. The rules don't apply to them. When Villanueva stood for the national anthem, I was very moved. I thought, what an awesome expression of patriotism. Coach Tomlin's answer to the controversy of whether or not you stand for the national anthem is to not show up at all. Just stay in the tunnel next to the locker rooms and we'll be okay. Alejandro Villanueva, the sale of his jerseys skyrocketed to the most sold of any player in the entire NFL the day after this happened. Why do we think that happened? Did people all of a sudden appreciate his physical football skills and they all became fans? No. People en masse who starved for patriotism appreciated the gesture that he had done, appreciated his standing for the national anthem. So they went out and they bought his jersey. Well, the day after that, he apologized. He apologized for standing for the national anthem. Who would have thought we would arrive at the day when you would have to apologize for standing for the national anthem? Imagine you're one of those thousands and thousands and thousands of people who bought his jersey, and you bought it because you considered him a patriot. And then the next day, you hear him apologize. Look, I'm not blaming Villanueva completely. I understand. He did what he intuitively thought was correct. But then a day later, in a locker room with 150, 60, however many players there are on each team in the average NFL team, and your coach, he caved to peer pressure. It's something we've all done. The very vocal liberal says something, and you dare not say anything to oppose it, or you're going to be a racist, you're going to be a bigot, you're a fascist. So we are shamed into joining them by our silence. This also is a microcosm of what's happened over the last 30, 40, 50 years in America. Peer pressure is awesome. It can be awesome in a good way, and it could be awesome in a very bad way. We have allowed protesting, radical, leftist, America-hating, Constitution-hating liberals dictate American policy, American law, American academia. I still believe in what Ronald Reagan termed the silent majority. People who just want simple, sound, reasonable policies to be the order of the day. People who believe in our Constitution the way it was drafted and still believe in America the way it was founded. There are a minority of people who have had the bully pulpit, who have had the microphone, who have had professorships in our colleges, who have had leadership positions in our government. They are the minority, but they have dictated policy and law for 30 to 50 years. And now we've arrived where we are. It is each of ours. It's why I started this blog. It's why I started this webcast, or whatever you want to call it, because it is now our responsibility to be heard. We're at a tipping point now. We can't let the other guy do it. We can't be like the apathetic voter who doesn't want to take part. That's what got us where we are today. It's time for you to bear your political testimony. I'm Jared Sison. This is Pickin' Politics.